That's the way it should always come back. A little pyro. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back. We have about 15 more minutes of open debate, and then we're going to get into the final statements. So we'll pick up our open debate. Pearl, I'll let you begin.
What's your plan when men stop doing the dirty and dangerous jobs that keep society running?
And if you could hold your mic.
Sorry, I'll say it again.
Can you give me an example of which jobs you're referring to?
Logging, plumbing, crab fishing, oil rig.
Yeah, those are dominated by men. They have
Now I'm gonna keep it 100 with everybody. I had to come back and revisit this debate because this shit was crazy, bro. Hold on, how do I get out of here? Give me 1 second. So damn, what are we doing here, bro? Okay, there we go. So she asked her, she said, yo, what are we gonna do when men stop doing the dirty and dangerous jobs? Okay? That's what she said. And of course, she's not going to answer this question because nobody knows the answer to this question. This is just going to be everything just going to be fucked. So let's see what she's talking about.
physical capacity to do it. Men and women are built differently.
Oh, shit.
What's your plan when they stop?
I mean, we're going to have a problem.
Well, if men stop doing the hard working jobs, then the whole world is going to go to shits. You gotta, I guess the point that she's making is that, you know, electricians, you know, who's going to take over the electrician jobs if men walk away from these jobs? Or plumbing jobs. Who's going to take over these jobs if men walk away? Right? Or oil rigs. If men decided that they want to walk away from the difficult jobs, the jobs that keeps like society running, then everything will fall apart. And I think that's the point that she's trying to make. The point that she's trying to make is that men don't get enough credit for keeping society running. Right? And you can't really argue with that. What are you going to say? She's going to break it down a little bit further, but what can you say about that? Women are not trying to get down in the fucking sewers, bro. Women are not trying to be fucking lugging pipes here from here and here from here, doing underground sewage and plumbing for the city. Electricians. You know, I mean, shit, you think you're going to see a bunch of women on an oil rig or working on the Northern Sea? So I'm just saying, like, if she answers this question, the debate would have been over, because the answer is if men walk away from doing these jobs, the world won't run. So men keep the world running. This is very important, right?
Are you suggesting that women should be forced to work on oil rigs and things like that?
What is your plan?
That's a
What do
ridiculous
men
question.
get out of doing those
I
jobs?
don't have a plan, Pearl, for a situation
Feminists
in
never
which
do.
men no longer do those jobs.
They never
Maybe you
do.
do it. I don't know.
What's your plan when men start walking away from marriage? What's your plan?
So, do men or women get a raw deal from marriage? Because you just
What
said
is
men
your
walking
plan?
away
What
from
is
marriage.
your
So,
plan?
is he culpable for doing that?
What is your plan when men walk away from marriage?
Is he responsible for walking away from a
changing the
marriage?
topic. What is
or
your
is he just never guilty of anything?
My point is you shit on men.
I don't shit on men. I love men.
Yet the very microphone you're using was built by men. The building was built by men. And there's no gratitude or appreciation.
But see, she stopped too soon. It's not just the microphone in the building, it's the roads. Okay, it's the hospitals. It's the cars. It's the plumbing infrastructure, electrical work, machines, planes, jets, fighter jets, television. She stopped right there, but it's so much more that men have created. They basically, down to the roads, street signs, down to the fighter jets, warplanes, cars, buildings, electrician, plumbing. If men walked away from these jobs, the whole world would literally shut the fuck down. That's the point she's trying to make. But I do understand that she doesn't understand because she's probably not privy to this information, but she's asking her. If men walked away from these jobs, what would be the plan? The plan is the whole world will go to shits. No reasonable woman is going to want to crawl in a sewer and be vamping out plumbing for the city. No sane woman is going to want to be climbing power lines where she can die if she makes the wrong move. And definitely, no sane woman is going to fight to go on the front line to fight war, okay, and just get fucking obliterated. I mean, it's men that do all these jobs. That's not to say that men are better than anybody else, but that's men that do these jobs.
You just tell them they're not doing enough.
Got me. You got me. Yep.
So what's your plan when men start walking away from society?
What do you mean by...
Oh, you cooked. I just went over there just now. Men start walking away from society, everybody cooked. Society wouldn't run. It's not about, glorifying or worshiping or misogyny or anything like that. It's just about the pure facts. You want to take care of your men in society because if they walk away, society won't run. A lot of people in life just actually think that these lights just come on by themselves. They think that water come out your sink. It just happens automatically. They think your ceiling fan, your fireplace, and they think all this stuff just operates on its own. It doesn't. The freedoms that we have in America, they think that these things are just here for no reason. The food that's delivered to the grocery stores and food that's delivered to your house, packages, truck drivers. You think these shits just show up just magically? Most people wake up and don't really understand how everything is working in their lives. And if you take away men out of that equation, life won't be what it is today by far. It wouldn't even be no slight comeback. The shit would go to shits all the way down.
Walking away from society.
When men stop doing the dangerous jobs, when men stop getting married, when men stop having kids.
To be quite
what
honest
is
with
your
you,
plan?
if American men decide they no longer want to do those jobs, very likely our government will import men from countries where they're willing to do those jobs. That's probably how
And
it's
what's
going to
your
work
plan
out.
when they date American women and then decide to stop too?
I'm not worried about that.
Of course you're not.
No. I never had any
The future
problems.
is not going to be great for feminists. You guys are going to get the equality that you're asking for. Men are not going to protect women in the streets. Men are going to stop signing up for the infrastructure jobs. The birth rate's going to keep falling, and the future is going to be bleak.
Okay. Listen,
Wind that back. I'm gonna have to
I
wind
think
that
men and
joint
women...
back.
I'm not worried about that.
Of course you're not.
No. I never had any
The future
problems.
is not going to be great for feminists. You guys are going to get the equality that you're asking for. Men are not going to protect women in the streets. Men are going to stop signing up for the infrastructure jobs. The birth rate's going to keep falling, and the future is going to be bleak.
Okay. Listen, I think men and women serve important roles in society. I think that you have a shallow understanding of what I believe, number one, but more importantly, what the...
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
If American men decide they no longer want to do those jobs, very likely our government will import men from countries where they're willing to do those jobs. That's probably how
And
it's
what's
going to
your
work
plan
out.
when they date American women and then decide to stop too?
I'm not worried about that.
Of course you're not.
No. I never had any
The future
problems.
is not going to be great for feminists. You guys are going to get the equality that you're asking for. Men are not going to protect women in the streets. Men are going to stop signing up for the infrastructure jobs. The birth rate's going to keep falling, and the future is going to be bleak.
Okay.
And the crazy part about it is, again, I've always say this on my streams. I say, listen, these conversations are not to convince nobody. I'm convinced of that because I understand how the human mind works, right? What these conversations are meant for is a digital blueprint, meaning that when things tend to happen in the future, not only are you going to find them in books, you're going to find them actually on the internet. You're going to find real live conversations and real discussions. Actually predicting these things happen by looking at the course their life is taking today. So what happens is she's asking this woman, well, what's going to happen if men walk away from society? Well, one person might ask, well, why will men walk away from society? Well, because again, as she stated, and she's going to go deeper into this, is that men are basically in the world putting forth all the bulk of the work. Meaning that when you look at the United States of America, or fuck it, we will take it even further now. Just look at the damn planet. The jobs that men do, not the jobs that women do, the jobs that men do, they keep the world functioning. Meaning this is a form of consistency. This is how it's always been. So let's say, okay, fine. I'm not saying women are incapable of doing these jobs. I mean, I would like to say that, but hey, who knows? But if men walked away from society, then the question will be now, what would you do then if the world stopped running? If all the fucking water went out on planet Earth, if the water just shut the fuck off, you're going to be hoping and planning and expecting men to fix it. When your power goes out, you're going to be looking for these men to climb them goddamn tree wires or whatever and fix that shit. When invaders invade your country, you're going to be expecting the men to stand up and fight. So she's asking her, what do men do when we say, you know what, man, we ain't being treated right, fuck this shit, we out? What's the plan for that? That's the question that she's asking her. I'm breaking it down on what she's really asking and what the other ladies rebutting, right? So that's all I'm breaking down. And she doesn't really have an answer for that because it's not an answer for that. And it's quite imperative that we share light on that because most people, due to media and propaganda, they just think that men just be sitting here twiddling their fingers. Of course, I'm not speaking about every fucking man. I'm speaking about men in general. Just like I don't speak about every woman in general. All these things don't apply. You do have the exception to the rule, but I'm speaking in general when I say these things, okay? We're going to go a little bit further, though.
Listen, I think men and women serve important roles in society. I think that you have a shallow understanding of what I believe, number one, but more importantly, what the dynamic is between men and women in modern society. You're under this weird impression that the anecdotal evidence that you cite is indicative of the outcome of all marriages. In reality, study after study shows that married couples tend to be happier than single individuals.
Right, they're happy before the divorce.
Divorce is terrible. Divorce means that the marriage didn't work out. Obviously, they're not going to be happy in the middle of a divorce.
Like, correlation doesn't mean causation. People marry happy people and date happy people in general. You're attributing it to marriage, but you're not going to marry someone that's a bitch.
Okay.
You're right, Pearl.
You know, what's really interesting is if you look at marriage rates, which have dropped in the United States, not just in the United States, actually globally, you'll notice that the people who are less likely to get married happen to be those who are from a lower socioeconomic status.
Right, marriage is disappearing from the middle class, that's true.
From poor individuals, yes.
What's your point?
Do you wonder why?
Because women marry rich?
People forgo marriage due to their own personal financial situation.
So women marry for money a lot.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going back to this.
Let me ask you something, Pearl.
Men.
Would you be willing to marry a guy who's poor?
Men.
Because I married a guy who was in debt and loved the hell out of him. Best thing in my life. Would you marry a guy who is broke, no
nice,
career,
Anna.
and in debt? Would you?
That's very nice, Anna.
Would you?
So I'm going back
Answer
to
the question. Would you marry a broke guy in debt?
All right, so we're going back to the
Would
topic.
you? Would you?
All right, this is the nagging. This is the nagging again. Okay, so
I'm
men,
pushing you to answer a question because you are judging women, making a blanket statement of who they would be willing to marry, who they wouldn't be willing to marry. But you're not answering the question
God help
yourself.
us.
Would you be willing to marry a broke guy in debt?
Does your husband have to listen to
wouldn't,
this?
would you?
Does he have to listen to this?
Oh, he loves it.
All right,
Can't get enough of
can
it.
I go back?
You not want to answer that? Why do you not want to answer that?
Yeah, why not?
Just say, no, I don't want to broke.
Love is love. Now, back to the question. Men, 88% of the food. The power grid, 93% men. Transportation, 95% men.
Men are important in society.
Communications, 90% men. Material production, 78% men. Software, 80% men. Auto workers, 98% men. Carpenters, 98% men. Electricians, 98% men. If you remove the top male-dominated jobs from the economy, you would have no running cars, no housing, no electricity, no open machinery, no materials or fabrics, and no computers. There would be no buildings and no Amazon delivery.
I've never once said that men are not a very important.
Like I said, she just broke it down. If men stop doing these jobs, this comfortable life that you have will cease for everybody. For everybody. So it's not really about gender this or gender that. Yeah, I mean, listen. I wouldn't even disagree with you that she's a tard. Who cares about her? We're talking about the topic. She's just a vessel that the information's coming through. Yeah, sure, no problem. I don't follow her, but the information is coming through her. So we don't want to get wrapped up in the person. She's just a vessel that's bringing in the goddamn numbers. So with that being said, she broke it down that if men walked away from these jobs, the world would cease to exist. Like, what woman in her right mind will sign up for plumbing? What woman in her right mind will be crawling through sewers, city sewers, making sure the water runs? What woman in her right mind would sign up to fight on the front line of war so she can get eradicated? So, yeah, I get it. That's the point she's just trying to make. She's just basically saying, hey, listen, if men walked away from doing these jobs, we all be fucked up. It ain't just the women. The men would be messed up too. Who you going to call when you got your plumbing? Your water goes out. You think a bunch of women going to show up and they going to start fixing your plumbing? They not going to do it. When your electricity go out or your car needs fixing, your husband, or he's going to hire a group of men to come fix the car so you guys can get yourselves to work. When the roads are fucked up, who do you think going to come fix the roads? They're going to have a group of men out there to fix the roads. So this is not about going into who's better, her or her. This is about the information. I don't give a fuck about none of them. It's all about the information. And I want to break down the debate because she made some good points and she said, hey, listen, what's going to happen to society if men walk away? Everything's going to fall apart. So who is trust? I'm talking to a white man, not an Indian, black, Mexican. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. What is true? What is true? But she would also say why type of men break it down more. What? Pearl? What? How is a love? So you know what your problem is? You so excited, you spelling shit wrong. That's your problem. You need to slow it down. You need to bring it back. You need to slow down and speed up. I don't know what the hell you're writing because you're too excited. What is true? That is true, but she would also say why type of men and break it down more. Pearl is a low IQ woman. Probably is. Doesn't matter. What matters is that she asked a question. She said, hey, listen, if men walked away from society, what would happen to society? That's what we focus on right now. Sometimes we can get wrapped up in insulting people and all this Jedi mind tricks. Nobody gives a shit about Pearl or Anna. We want to focus on the information. Why white nationalists not... Okay. Allow... What the fuck? Held a message for a reason. No, I'm... Oh, you a bit drunk? Hey, no problem, brother. I respect that. Me too. I'm glad we... now I understand. Now I understand. No problem. Absolutely. No worries at all.
Important
Feminists,
part of American society.
You want men enslaved to women for nothing in return.
No, you're just making
That's
things
what you
up.
want. That's what you want. You want men on the hook for
Okay,
child
Pearl,
support.
what have I
You
said
want men
that
on the
gives
hook
you that
for
impression?
alimony.
Let her finish
What
her
have I
sentence.
said
You
that
want-
gives you that impression?
You want men on the hook for child support. You want men on the hook for alimony.
You want men to not take responsibility for their own children.
You've been on the air for 20 years and you have not advocated for men that are victims of paternity fraud. You want men to do all of the work, get no credit for nothing.
I do
and men aren't
political
going to do
news.
it anymore. They're going to walk away, Anna. They're not going to do it anymore. And
So that goes back to the original question. What happens when men walk away? What happens when men walk away? And the question is really simple. Like I said, society will cease to run. I'm not saying, I mean, we have to acknowledge that. We have to do that.
as you said, have no plan for when that happens. And I wish
What do you want
luck.
their plan to be? You think it's a feminist responsibility to
happened?
plan for this made-up society where all men...
Everything depends on the men. Joe, if we get invaded today, you think they're gonna be expecting the women to jump on the front line and fight? No, it's gonna have men gonna have to clean this shit up. You understand? And men take pride and take. You know why they say save the women and children? Because it's not too much a difference between the two. Men take pride in protecting what they build. We take pride in protecting women and children. Her point of contention is, what happens when men start saying, hey, I don't want to protect these motherfuckers no more? Society's going to have a problem. It's not about who's right, who's wrong. It's not about all the... It's just about, that's just what's going to happen. If men say fuck it, we all in trouble. If women say fuck it, the worst thing that's going to happen is Gucci and Louis Vuitton are just going to go down in sales. Because they're the most consumers that we have. If men say fuck it, what do you think is going to happen when all the water stops running in America? Who's supposed to fix that? It's the men going to fix that. If the fucking power grids go out, no one's counting on the women to go fix that. They're counting on the men to go fix it. That's the only point I'm trying to make. This is not misogyny. This ain't hate. I'm just clearly stating the obvious.
Decide
You know
they
what's
no
funny?
longer want
You
to
guys
work.
know what's funny? She actually advocated for left-wing policies the last 20 years, and then she got assaulted by a homeless person.
What does that have to do with the topic?
Because
at
it
hand?
was the result of what you voted for, Anna.
Yeah.
Hey man, make sure you follow the channel so we can continue these conversations, man. I don't know who you are, but I hope to hear from you again. Hit the goddamn follow button.
First of all,
No, and so
no
and want to know why? Because
you
Anna,
think I voted?
Because,
Hold on.
Because,
You
because,
think I voted
because,
for homeless people to
because-
go around
all right, so
sexually assaulting
Anna,
people?
Because Anna
By
was.
the way, I got sexually assaulted
Do you know
by
what's-
a
do you know what's-
guy.
all
Was
right,
that
all right.
was
So,
that
do you know what
his
the other crazy
responsibility?
thing
Was that
is?
something that he did, or was that my fault too?
All right, so the other crazy thing is that Anna complains that women's opinions aren't taken seriously, while a whole event was catered around her opinion. The other thing that's crazy
What are you talking about?
is Anna complains about women being oppressed.
You don't know what you're talking about because you won't shut the fuck up long enough. listening is an art. If you hear what she's saying, we'll see what happens.
And yet, she had less experience than her co-host at the Young Turks.
Hold on.
Hold on. So, let me see something. So, genuine question: if black men took over for supplying population and creating strong men families, you think it would work? Okay, hold on. I want to answer this question. This good shit right here. Hold on. So you're saying that if black men took over for supplying population and creating strong men families, do you think it'll work? Fuck no, it wouldn't work, because them motherfuckers didn't have fathers themselves. Now, understand something. If you're talking about black men, then this is a crazy rabbit hole we got to go down, because 54% of black men are childless and fatherless. 50% of black men are childless and fatherless. But what tends to happen, 54% of black men are childless and fatherless, 38% of black men are married with children, so that roughly leaves you around 16% of the knuckleheads. So you got the knuckleheads out here, right? These are the motherfuckers who got like 3-4 kids by 8 different baby mamas, and women keep sleeping with them knowing that they got 8 different kids, so all of them are having sex with the same men. Now, if they were raised by that group of men, absolutely not, because those men don't have fathers, and they're going to raise their children under feminine behaviors because they were all raised by their mothers. So no, I think black men got a lot of work they need to do before they can do that, but that's only that small sector. You still got the 54% of men who don't have children, who have worked themselves up, 60% are in the middle class. You give them to them, but our women don't mate with those guys. Our women are attracted to the drug dealers and the gangsters, so it's not going to work for them either. They're fucked too. All this shit is going down. It's all, but see, the internet is not to convince nobody. The internet, I am talking race. Yeah, so am I. The internet is not to convince nobody. It's a digital blueprint. Meaning that when everything goes to shits, now not only can you find them in books, you're going to be able to go on the internet. And you're going to see these conversations that we have privy to these things happening. Oh, when it comes to politics, it's absolutely... No, sure. I mean, everything's about race. Maybe you didn't hear what I just said. You asked me if black men took over for supplying population and creating strong men and families, do you think it will work? I said that it depends on what black men you're talking about. You got 2 different sectors of black men. You got the retards, which are the Negroes, the niggas, and then you got black men. Two different species. If you let the niggas take over, then no, it wouldn't supply great families. If you let black men take over, yes, they would show a great deal of masculinity. So I mean, you gotta make that. That's a tricky question right there. No, not race. The whole thing. I don't need, bro. You gotta I mean, for political power. Hold on. When it comes to political, absolutely it is. No, not race. The whole thing. I mean, the political. I'm talking race. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about right now. You gotta you confuse me, but no doubt it's all good. You said you've been drinking a little bit. Hope you enjoying your night. So am I. Toast. All right.
What were my complaints about women being oppressed? Can you be specific?
All right.
What did I say? Go ahead and quote me. Go ahead and quote me, because you make shit up.
Yeah.
And you just think like it's gonna stand. You've never had a strong woman challenge your bullshit assertions. So go ahead and
see, when you gotta start reverting into profanity and all this crazy stuff, that lets you know that somebody's getting under their skin. And I don't even know why, because she's just asking her questions. But see, this is the problem. All the theatrics, when this stuff starts happening, it takes attention off of the real points and it sends you elsewhere. I hate when people do this when they're debating, right? It's like, okay, listen, you got somebody in front of you, y'all talking. Don't do all of this to distract people of the real conversation that's taking place at hand. And she knows she fucked up.
tell me, what have I complained about?
Okay.
Give me the quote.
The nagging. You said women's opinions are not taken.
Do I have a set of politics when it comes to a country that I like? Yes. I think all countries.
Seriously.
I think all countries. Hold on. Let me turn this down.
Yeah, when did I say that?
I think all countries should have a plethora of different policies. But number one, I think that men need to stay where they are in control because we keep shit running. That's what we should do. I'm a nationalist. I'm black. I mean, everybody should be a nationalist. I got many white friends, but I'd rather be around my people. I have a home. I have a family. Sometimes I go over my friend's house. But guess what? I would like to be home with my family. If you don't care about your race, you're fucking stupid. Everybody should be a goddamn nationalist. What are you talking about? If you're a white person and you don't put your people first, something's wrong with you. If you're a black person and you don't put your people first, which that's our problem, hence this is where we are because we don't put our people first. Jewish people, put your people first. People that are nationalists and put their people first, long as you're putting your people first and you're not harming nobody, then why the hell not? Yeah. You seem to be cool too, man. Shouts out to you. Make sure you hit the goddamn follow button, man. We can do this again.
In a YouTube video.
There's 2 women on this stage right now for the headline event.
Oh my God, are we gonna end?
When have I said women's opinions don't get taken seriously?
It's
you
kind
just
of
make
like
it
the
up.
roundabout. This is like eternal nagging.
What is your plan for when the
there she
80%
goes.
of women who work in the healthcare industry no longer want to do it? What's your plan?
I have a plan.
Yeah, what's your plan?
Let's give the jobs to the men, they'll do it better. Because we see what's happening in the media. You know, women fly planes, they crash them. All women almost burned down California. You know, people are dying because they want to make women feel better. People literally.
You know what?
I'm curious.
I think you did subscribe already. Maybe let me see something. Do. Lou, yo, didn't you send me a friend request on? This main man right here. Oh, who is Raindrops? Nah, I gotta get 25 subscribes followers before they put me for the subscribers. I'm trying to figure out who you are. Do I know you? I don't. But you can hit the follow button though. Make it happen, baby. Make it happen. Don't worry, you'll come around soon enough. Don't worry. Good things come to those who wait. Patience is a virtue. All right, let me finish this video.
About is whether or not the Pick Me Act ever resorted into anything positive for you.
Are you done?
Yeah, so these are more insults right here, right? So usually, the person who's losing the debate tends to refer to more insults. Well, she's been doing basically the whole night though, but you'll have to see part 1 to be able to see that. But clearly, she's getting fucked up in the debate. But let's go.
All right, so I'm not either.
Okay, keep going.
Now, the other thing is, women fly planes, they crash them. Women are in CEOs.
What are the stats on that? What are the stats on that?
You know, it's like feminists. They want stats that say water is wet.
Yeah, I want empirical evidence,
right?
To back up your arguments.
Because you know.
See, because let me tell you where Pearl fucked up at. Right? This is what happened with Pearl fucked up at. And I tell people this: if you're going to debate, make sure that you are well prepared because perception is greater than reality. So what tends to happen is that Pearl got caught out there a few times when she got asked, hey, look, what are your sources? Because you can't just state data without stating where you got the data from. Now, that's not to say Pearl didn't have the sources, because Pearl had this crazy-ass conversation all, like, for the last 4 or 5 years, right? But she wasn't prepared on that situation. Now, does being prepared mean that you're wrong? Absolutely not. But it does mean that, hey, listen, now we skeptical. Now we're a bit reluctant on taking your information because we don't know if you're pulling this shit out your ass. I get it. So I already critiqued her on that. She listen, she destroyed the girl in the latter rounds. But if she would have had her sources on point, if she was well prepared, because proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? It would have been crazy. But most people didn't watch the whole debate entirely, because I looked at the reactions on YouTube. So most people didn't watch the whole thing. And at the same time, you also got to understand something too. Reading or listening is different than reading and listening comprehension. Most of the times when people are listening to something or reading something, they don't even really understand what the fuck they listen to. You'll literally, I've read articles, I've debated people that pulled up sources and their article didn't say nothing that they were talking about. Because people can read, but they don't have reading comprehension. Just like you got a bunch of people that have a lot of information, but doesn't mean that they understand the information that they have. That's like having a bunch of fucking guns with no ammo. You just got information that's useless because you don't understand the information. Yo, I used to teach my daughter mathematics, right? And my daughter had a real good memory. All right, so I would hit her with her mathematics. Blah, 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 12 times 12 is 144. So I pulled out the pen and piece of paper. I said, show me the mathematical equation. Show me how 12 times 12 equals 144. She couldn't do it. So you know what this means? This means that she remembered the information, but she don't quite understand it. So this is what be happening right here. We got a lot of people out here with a lot of information, but don't understand the information that they have. But anyway, moving forward, right?
No, you want to be in control of telling people what to think and how to feel.
No, I want to be in reality. I want to live in a fact-based reality that requires empirical evidence, not your assertions.
300. We all saw that plane crash on the East Coast. No one's making that up, Anna.
You do better when you're reading off your paper, so I'll give you some time to do that. In the future, because I'm sure you'll find yourself in more of these debates, I actually think that you could be an incredible debater. But you need to look at the broader picture, not just rely on anecdotes, and don't make things up out of full cloth.
Okay. Feminism empowered women. I'll take the tip, thank you. Feminism empowered women to sign up for previously male-dominated careers that they quit. 48 to 73% of female lawyers, depending on the type of firm, quit either as junior associates or at mid-career. 1/4 of them cite workload, burnout, mental health. 73% of women who got engineering degrees in the past 15 years either have never entered the field professionally or quit early mid-career. 55% of all female accountants quit before or at their mid-level career. The attrition rate for women in STEM is approximately 50%. These companies often bend over backwards to get women hired to the point of discrimination against male qualified candidates. Then women quit because they don't want to work the long hours or deal with the levels of stress for an extended period of time, with women being 2.5 more likely to take antidepressants than men. The money and prestige isn't worth it to them. They prefer lower pay, lower workload, and higher job security. Feminism has empowered women to go to college and take out loans they can't afford for career paths that will not generate them income to pay off those loans.
Men have higher debt than women.
Right, because women put their biggest expenses on their husband's credit card.
According to Experian, and they look and account for those factors that you just mentioned.
Women are 85% of consumer spending. We lead when it comes to luxury brands.
Men have more mortgage debt, car loan debt, personal credit card debt.
Right, because they're expected to provide. Women make 80% of consumer buying decision. Again, if feminists really cared about equality, they would provide for the men.
What?
They would what for the men?
Where's
Sorry, I missed that.
Fellas?
So look, you know what's going on here? Let me tell you what's happening here, right? Poor child. I don't blame either one of them, right? This is good dialogue. For so long, we lived in a society where it's been like, oh man, poor woman this, poor woman that. Oh, the women got to do this, the women got to do that. Or our women did this. It's kind of shocking to some people. Even men get shocked by this. Sometimes it hits them left field. Men don't even know how to win because being a man is a thankless job. So when you hear a bunch of people talking about the travesties that men are going through or the great things that men do, people feel uncomfortable. People start feeling uncomfortable because they like, yo, somehow along the way, if you say how great men are, you're simultaneously talking about how bad women are. I don't know how it got like that. But that's just where we are today. So I can understand the triggering, but like I said, listening is an art, man. If you really staying in tune and listening to it, you're not really gonna get that from it.
Sorry, can you repeat
If
that?
feminists cared about equality, they would provide for the men. But yet, that is a small minority of women.
No.
Wait, so let me get this straight. Honestly, your whole shtick is women should bend over backwards and do everything they can for men. My argument.
I'm an egalitarianist.
Hold on, my argument is that men and women are both tremendously important to a functioning society. They should both be treated with respect. They both serve different jobs, different roles, and in order for society to work, we have to respect that.
Women are
but
not
you
equal.
seem
Women are
to
not
put the onus and responsibility of everything onto women while providing cover for the bad behavior.
Yo, truth be told, if you ask what men have contributed to, okay, what I'm saying to you is that women in whole, they don't really contribute that much to society. They don't. And, I mean, they're the number one consumers, but that's because they're spending men's money, or they're spending money from the jobs that they're making, which are corporations ran by men. There will be no woman leisure if men didn't, and which this is not a problem, but then it gets to a point where it's like somehow feminism has brainwashed women to think that men are their enemy, when the whole fucking time we're civilizing life for you. Like, yo, like, are you kidding me right now? The fucking computers that they on right now, the microphones, the goddamn roads on the streets, the colleges they go to, all built and constructed by men. How can you have a group of men that does so much for a group of women, and then somehow along the way they say that these men are evil? What kind of shit is that? But I'll tell you what it is. It's being nice. If you look up the etymology of the word nice, you're going to see it's dumb and it's stupid. I think men should stop being so nice. Yeah.
Behavior of men.
Women are not equally important because they don't do the equal
Men
work.
are equally important. I
Women are
never
not
said that they weren't.
Women are not equally important because
No, she said women aren't equally important. Because, I mean, okay, put your feelings aside. Who's more important to keep the world running? If women stop doing their jobs, can the world still run? The answer is yes. If men stop doing their jobs, can the world still run? The answer is no. So clearly we see that men are more important than women. I don't give a fuck how it sounds. You know, like she said, man, people end up dying. People go through hard shit because we want to make people feel better. That's just what it is right there. If women opt out of the workforce, the world will continue to run. Their jobs don't really consist of the world running. If men walked away from their jobs, the world would stop running. So now I have to ask you, I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to ask you, who do you think is more important? And then we're going to have some Jedi mind trick. Oh, your value doesn't matter at the work you do. I get it. I understand. I totally get it.
because they don't do the equal amount of work. Men have invented the majority of the inventions. Men have started Fortune 500 companies. Men do the majority of the infrastructure job. Men produce 90% of
Who's scrubbing the toilets
80%
after
of the
work?
food supply, 90% of the world's stuff.
Who's changing the diapers?
Not women.
Who's
Not women.
raising
They're
the
not having
children
kids.
after
Women aren't
working
having kids,
all
so
day
women
long?
aren't doing it. Daycare workers now, to be honest. It's not the moms.
Not everyone grew up in an affluent household like you. They need a dual income household in order to make ends meet in this economy.
Anna, you
live
talk.
in reality for
Anna,
one day
you
in your
talk.
life.
Anna, you talk for a living. It's kind
I
of
do.
rich for you to come at me.
What, bitch? What do you do for a living?
I also talk, but I can acknowledge it's not that hard of a job.
Talk a lot of bullshit.
You pretend it's more important than it is.
Right. Okay.
Well, since there were only about 30 seconds left, we'll just call it there. All right, good job. Give these debaters a round. All right, we have 5 minute closing statements where you will not attempt.
Everybody trying to hear the closing statements, man. I think this was real powerful discussion right here, man. Real powerful discussion, man. You know, I would say this right here. I would say this. She kind of broke her apart with that whole. See, here's the deal. Nobody's really saying women shouldn't do this or do that, but you had a group of women that say they want to be equal. But I mean, do women really want to be equal, right? Like I said before, and I'm gonna say it again. Do women want to be climbing fucking power lines, changing shit, changing lights, 30,000 feet in the air and whatnot? Or would they rather just stay behind their desks and do safe jobs, where men would rather have them there anyway because men are just protectors? But I think this was fly. We're going to try to go to the closing statements. We're going to see what they talking about. But I think Pearl won this one, man. She made a few mistakes in the beginning. But yeah, she got this.
Attack each other or call each other names.
No names.
Anna, you're first.
No names.
I'm just going to go ahead and read what I couldn't get to in my opening statement, if you don't mind.
Yo, Pearl about to break her down with this shit. This shit about to get crazy.
Taking advice from someone like Pearl will ensure that you will be lonely and incredibly sad.
The rest of your life.
If you have this dark view of an entire sex, nearly 50% of the country, I can't imagine living day to day being a happy person. I don't know what Pearl actually believes. Part of me feels like this is a shtick. But I'm going to take what you say at face value and just think you genuinely believe it. And if you do genuinely believe it, I actually feel really bad for you. If you think women in general fit in this weird description where they're looking to take advantage of people, where they're looking to rip people off, where they're looking to get married only to divorce and steal a man's money, you live in an alternate universe. Sometimes divorces are ugly. Sometimes there are bad women who make things up, who lie about rape, and there should be consequences for that.
But there aren't.
The difference between you and me is that I think the bad behavior of women deserves consequences, just like the bad behavior of men deserves consequences. That's what equality
legal,
is.
one's not.
What you're advocating for is a society in which men get away with everything and women get blamed for everything. That's it. I mean, what else am I going to say?
All right, that was her close.
All right. I can go? Yeah.
You might as
All
well.
right.
Jump in there.
Feminists are mainly white, middle-class female liberals who have no idea how the real world works and yet want to advise you on how to live in it. Let me go through your complaints. Feminists want control over their bodies. You win. You have 12 types of birth control, and you can actually Uber Eats a Plan B. You have abortion on demand, and in the states that it's not, it's simply a weekend trip. You have aborted an eighth of the world population. You win. Feminists wanted to fight against rape culture. You win. If a woman is raped, assaulted, or if she revokes consent after the fact, she has the power to get a man fired from his job, kicked out of school, or thrown in jail. You won, feminists. Women want to be free of traditional gender roles, fine. Men invented the dishwasher, the Roomba, the air fryer, fast food, and Uber Eats. There are meal prep services and cheap restaurants. You win. Women wanted to have a career first and get...
I can't believe that. They done goddamn created all the shit in the kitchen.
Married later in life. Men allowed women to come into the workforce and have millions of dollars in funding, pushing women into male-dominated fields and scholarships, and invented IVF to give us another 5 years of fertility. The husbands pay for the IVF, and they are pushing to get it taxpayer-funded. You win. Women wanted to be sexually liberated instead of getting married. Men invented Tinder and Hinge so random men can literally come to your door. The men from your hometown are not good enough. Men invented social media so you can get flown out by the highest status men in the world. Women did not want to work labor jobs? Fine. Men invented social media so you can talk into a microphone and get paid. You can now work from home so you can have a family and be a mom. You can make money selling your nudes on the internet and become a billionaire. Women did not want to give birth? Fine. Men invented surrogacy so another woman can do it for you. Women wanted to be thin without working out. Now you have Ozempic. You want to look younger? Fine. Men invented Botox, hair dye, filters on your phone, nose jobs, Anna knows, plastic surgery, lash extensions, makeup, and AI to make you look thinner.
You should
win.
look into it.
You can now wait till 40 to have a baby, freeze your face, work in an air-conditioned office, earn a living sitting on your ass, getting fat, spending money you don't have, marry someone to pay it off, divorce him, put him on alimony and child support, get a Roomba, abort your kid, have unprotected sex on camera, get paid for it, order any cooked food to your door, get a self-driving car, and then complain to men that they caused you to be lazy and fat. You are now empowered to have 10 abortions, bang 300 men, take a DEI position that pays $300K a year, Uber Eats a Plan B, study underwater basket weaving, and get sympathy when your degree pays no money.
Damn.
Feminists are spoiled, liberal, progressive women that have no idea how good they have it. You guys will never be happy until men are nothing but empty shells who are the men from your hometown.
Yo, this shit was a massacre. This was a complete massacre. What are we doing here, man? I'm starting to think, man, we living in the echo chamber, bro. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, Mikey? What are we doing here, Mikey? I tell you what we doing here, Mikey. We losing our fucking minds, Mikey. Oh, shit. Yeah, life is good, man. I ain't tripping on that shit. Come on, go ahead, Pearls. Close it out, Pearls.
Are not
Close
good
it
enough.
out.
Men invented social media so you can get flown out by the highest status men in the world.
That part.
Women did not want to work labor jobs? Fine. Men invented social media so you can talk into a microphone and get paid. You can now work from home so you can have a family and be a mom. You can make money selling your nudes on the internet and become a billionaire. Women did not want to give birth? Fine. Men invented surrogacy so another woman can do it for you. Women wanted to be thin without working out. Now you have Ozempic. You want to look younger? Fine. Men invented Botox, hair dye, filters on your phone, nose jobs, Anna knows, plastic surgery, lash extensions, makeup, and AI to make you look thinner.
You
win.
should look into it.
You can now wait till 40 to have a baby, freeze your...
Easy. More shots. But you know, it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse.
Face, work in an air-conditioned office, earn a living sitting on your ass, getting fat, spending money you
The
don't...
crazy shit about it, man, a lot of shit she said, it went over a lot of people's heads, man. People don't have the attention span to be able to accumulate all this information, man. I'm trying to tell you.
don't have. Marry someone to pay it off, divorce him, put him on alimony and child support, get a Roomba, abort your kid, have unprotected sex on camera, get paid for it, order any cooked food to your door, get a self-driving car, and then complain to men that they caused you to be lazy and fat. You are now empowered to have 10 abortions, bang 300 men, take a DEI position that pays $300K a year, Uber Eats a Plan B, study underwater basket weaving, and get sympathy when your degree pays no money. Feminists are spoiled, liberal, progressive women that have no idea how good they have it. You guys will never be happy until men are nothing but empty shells who are slaves to the system, fueled by feminists' selfishness, spending habits, and poor choices. Feminists don't care about equality because if they did, there would be equal rights for men. There would be equal men's shelters. There would be equal funding for men's cancer. There would be real equality. I checked 20 different feminist websites and have not found one that mentioned a single issue that asked for men to be equal. It only asked for special treatment. Feminism has empowered women to destroy this country through the death of 1,000 cuts. Feminism is not about equality, it's about insidious domination. It has been a slow creep to where women are complaining about their non-existent oppression. Men have figured this out because they're highly adaptive and the math is not mathing. I am curious to know feminists' plan when men refuse to stop providing, protecting, and maintaining the civilization you enjoy corrupting. Feminists are about to fuck around and find out. Feminists have won. You destroyed every single male group that used to be strictly for men, like Boy Scouts. You can falsely accuse men of rape, harassment, and endless lawsuits. Feminists have more political power, voting power, and spending power than any other group. Everybody caters to you. Corporations cater to you because women are the primary purchasers. Politicians because they need the vote. Men have to pay child support to a rapist. Men are not believed when they're abused. Men have to die at work and at war. Men have to pay child support for 18 to 21 years. Men have to register in selective service. Men are not given additional consideration for college admissions, jobs, opportunities, and scholarships. Children are not DNA tested at birth, leading to paternity fraud, which is not prosecuted at all. And men will more than likely deal with this in their lifetime. Men are the majority of the homeless. Men are the majority of the suicides. Women can hit men, and men can't hit back. Feminism has empowered women to destroy men, and congratulations, 1.6 million men have committed suicide. What more do you want, Anna?
All right. That is the debates. Let's give it a big hand for these two debaters.
Thank you.
All right, so if you're here in the room.
Yo, good debate, man. I was feeling that, yo. Real good debate. Real good. Real good. I hope that dude in the chat was a female. I hope that person in the chat was a female, because if that was a male, that'd have been crazy. All right. Yes, yes. You heard. What we gonna do, Mike? What we gonna do now, Mike? Yeah, it'd been nice, but it's okay. We're good. Yeah, I know. Right.